Hello, hello.
Morning.
Good morning, Bobby. How you doing?
Doing all right. You?
Um, I'm good. I'm very stressed out,
Oh,
but I'm very like I things are positive. It's just my little team is gearing up for a giant event on
mm,
Thursday, and it's like all hands on deck,
yeah.
10 hours a day. It's a little bonkers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you
Somet-
feel like you're busy, but you're not actually busy. This week we're actually busy.
Yeah.
It's like a fire drill all the time. We all we looked at each other yesterday and we were like, it's only Monday? This is terrible. We're in trouble.
Those are good weeks.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Once you get past them,
That's true. That's
yeah, they're
true.
good weeks.
Yeah. So
You
I
can really detail out your crew after those weeks.
I think I'm gonna like take everybody for a pizza party and beer. That's what's happening.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Gary's like, yeah. Yeah, Gary, you can come too, buddy. It'll be great. Hi, Brandon.
Hello.
Yeah. There we go. Making sure I got all my docs ready for you guys. There's that one. Oh, Gary, you had a comment. I didn't incorporate it. Let me get that real quick while we wait for other folks to come. That's a good question. Okay. I will. Anybody have any exciting stories? Richard, Bobby, and Junior, you get to make all the decisions today.
Just us.
So far,
Hmm.
Richard's there.
yeah. It's a rock star squad. Should be fine.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
You snooze, you lose.
Yeah, that's right. I think that's how it goes. Um, all right, we got Karen up in the house here. Moving and grooving. Okay, what's the weather like in Boardman?
Pretty nice today. Going to be 70 degrees and warming up to almost 80 by Friday.
That's
And then it drops back into the 60s next week. So it's just a short
Tease.
spring sessions.
maybe a dumb question, but when we get slammed by the what do they call them? The conveyor belts of water.
The, the something river,
Yeah, yeah, the atmospheric river.
atmospheric river, you know.
When Portland's getting destroyed, do you guys get it too?
We don't get much. We just more get the wind.
Hmm.
We get the side effect of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We only average 9 inches of rainfall a year with a 54-inch evaporation rate. So you guys can get that in a month.
Yeah, I was at the coast on Friday and Saturday. And that Friday, I think it rained like 2 inches that day.
Yeah,
It was amazing.
yeah. And then Hawaii is really getting pummeled.
Hmm.
So
Like, don't they
not,
call it the
not,
Pineapple Express?
yeah, you feel sorry for people who save up all their money to go to Hawaii for their first time, and it's a big trip, and then they go, and that's the kind of weather they deal with. So
That's not good.
kind of
Not
brutal.
good. Well, let's get started. Hello, Karen. Hello, Michael. Hello, Richard. Hello, Bobby and Junior. We've got two guests on the phone today. We've got Brandon, your city manager, and we got Gary Reddick back, our consultant on master planning stuff. Um, I had shared with you our agenda. We more or less have five big things, talking about a change and a go to the scope of work. Brandon has an idea about could this committee take on a little bit more than just housing development. We want to talk about project number one. We want to lock in dates for our developer 101 and developer roundtable. We did a doodle poll, and you guys are just not available on those days in a meaningful way. So we have to look at a different set of dates. And then I want to give you guys some updates on Annam, the Merle, Developer 101, and Urban Form. And that's our agenda. Any questions or additions to our agenda? Okay, very good. Brandon, since you're irregular attendee, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Um, so I'll start with the more than. Um, so you guys have been doing great. You're rocking and rolling. Obviously, I wanted to go way, 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 way faster, but that's okay. That's okay. You're doing great. But in this during this conversation and working on housing, the thought was the master planning, focusing the master planning on just city-owned property where we can control it. So over by the Susie Frederickson, which new name escapes me. What is it?
Columbia View.
Columbia View Estates. Focus the master planning on that area. And then within that master planning and housing, why wouldn't this group, who I really trust and believe you guys would have the ability to perform and do this, do development? Like, so we have a huge housing section. We also have several properties right off of Front Street. They are for development. We have that commercial side on Olson. Like, why wouldn't you guys partake of that and give input to the council of who we should go and try to get businesses into the city? Out of everything, I mean, for all the years I've been here, we've always had short on housing and we don't have enough amenities. I think we're working really hard on getting the housing, and it's going progressively. It is moving forward. I think this next step of getting businesses is that little hole that we need to fill, and we have a great opportunity over in this Columbia View.
So, Brandon, can I say what I think you're saying and see if you nod?
Yeah.
Okay. So Brandon is saying if we are developing, first of all, the chunk of property that the city owns, which is mostly this and a little bit down here. And if we do a master plan that mostly focuses on this and might dream a little on the stuff that surrounds it, which this committee has talked about, could this committee also, in addition to being the place where we bring housing planning and housing development input, could it also be the place where we bring commercial potential or retail potential development and planning? So when Brandon says development, I think what he means is commercial retail uses other than housing. We have talked many, many times that this chunk of Boardman is going to have both. It's going to have commercial development. It's going to have residential, just like on your main street. And if we're doing this in a holistic way, we have to be able to consider both. And what Brandon, I think, is asking of you is, can we call on you to also weigh in on that planning process, that development process, that economic analysis process to be more than housing? At least for this round, right? Like I don't think he's asking you to commit to that forever, but like, let's test it. And for this round, can we consider the development plan as a whole instead of you just zeroing in only on the housing components? Brandon, am I getting that right? Okay. I'm seeing nodding.
That is
So
right.
Uh, what do you think, guys?
well, I think for me, I just want to see dirt move. We've been at this for over a year now, and not a single pebble has moved. And
Well,
so I'd like to see some dirt moving, and so that we can say that we accomplished something before counselors are no longer involved with this.
that would be great. As a reminder, your first meeting ever was in June of 2025. So I recognize that counselors think this has been more than a year, but your first hello, we are a committee meeting ever was in June of 2025.
Well, what I mean is like we met back in February, and then we had a big consortium and all that other stuff, and
Sure.
I've been involved not just with this but other things, and I feel like we're just I kind of feel like what Brandon says, like we need to get moving, in my opinion.
Okay, Richard, I'm going to keep pressing you. I hear the sense of urgency. Do you think this committee can weigh in on both? That's the key
Oh
question.
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So in this particular area, we already have some plans coming, I think, don't we, Brandon? That we could talk about, like the incubator building.
Yep, that's out.
Okay. And then there's potentially
That's about it.
stuff going around there, yeah, in the motel. So, yep.
But
Yep,
the
motel, absolutely.
but the incubator building's been in the works for how long now? 2-3
Yeah.
years, and
More than
still
that.
no dirt has moved.
More than that. But so we did, I wouldn't say there's dirt move, but we did go out and do some test holes for soil samples. So
Dug through it.
starting to move a little more than it had in the past. I will just say that. So
Uh, Junior, while you're chatting, do you think this committee can be reviewing commercial and retail opportunities in this
yeah,
zone?
I think doing it as a plan, a master plan is makes all the sense in the world. I mean, depending on what you see in the future for business can change what you see that your housing should look like. I mean, we don't want to overdevelop business that takes away housing, but I think that by putting in business, you're going to help the housing go in and be more attractive. So I think as a package deal, it makes all sorts of sense.
Cool. How about you, Bobby?
Yeah, if we get a clear scope on what's expected from us, I think that we can handle it.
When you say scope, do you mean for this project or just in general?
For the addition, for
I see.
for the other load that's being asked.
Clear scope. Can I make a suggestion?
To me,
Yep.
please.
What if we instead of changing the scope of the full committee, what if we just change the scope for this project, for this master
Sure.
planning process, and we would literally just make sure it's clear here, right?
Yeah.
In our scope of work, and we can make it very, very clear that it is more than just the housing bit. That's what I think we would want to do. Like we could put it in writing here.
Before,
Right.
yeah,
And
down the same line, if you wouldn't mind me interrupting,
Yeah.
that the question I have is clarification of really what do you want us to do exactly? What expertise do we have that you're asking us to move something forward? And I'll tell you why. I always get really uh, um, when we have a need for middle income, and that's why I'm here, and to attract, and how we're doing things business wise. What is the need? What yeah, and I guess maybe when you ask what is the scope, what expertise are you going to ask us uh, or involvement do you need us to develop commercial space?
So I'm going to just do my answer, but Brandon, I'm going to ask you to answer that too. So when I look at our deliverables list, this is what we sent out to you last week, right, for this planning process. It very clearly says economic analysis. That's who is what's there, right? Site plan proposals, we could make it clear that this is for any type of development. Our phasing plan, recommended housing mix, but then we also have in there already recommendations for complementary retail and commercial uses and delineation of development parcels, and then both commercial and housing for a project scope and narrative. You get the idea. So I would now ask Brandon, are we asking this committee to do more than what's written or something different, et cetera?
Well, and to Michael's question, I would say I want your knowledge. Like Michael, you've been involved in, industry for a really long time. You're a fairly, relatively average smart guy. Um, and I would tap into what do you guys think we need? I mean, to me, the common thing was we need a restaurant right next to a hotel. I've talked to Nathan about that, having an idea of how to entice a restaurant, but what other amenities? I mean, we're talking right off of Front Street, right off of the freeway, and any input like, do we need an oil change? That kind of stuff? Like, what do you see as our town that would be viable that could, you know, make money that an investor would see as being a quality? That's what I want. I want the experience you guys have in life and see like, oh, this would be great to have in Boardman, and then we will go find it. And we can go and knock on those doors because again, we truly do not have that in Boardman.
Well,
We don't have an economic developer.
well, here's the deal though. We had those opportunities and people chased them off like pretty recently, including counselors. And so like what are we really trying to accomplish here?
I think
I
that's
mean, I want economic development and I want housing, but I
yeah.
feel like every
Hold on
time
one
we get really
second.
close, it doesn't happen.
So
I
I
can
see
I can
one
I
more
say that
one more second. So in very specific answer to Richard's question, like why would this be any different? This is the purpose of your master plan, even if it's a smaller geography, is so that all of those proposals are number one, vetted through a body that's been asked to vet it and then support it. That's you. Number two, it's meant so that everything ties together. It's not hey, we're going to sell this piece of property and do this one thing in isolation. It is very much meant to all be tied together in a singular vision for this part of Boardman. I can tell you with 100% confidence that future tenants, future businesses are much more likely to invest in your city if they know they are part of a coordinated plan versus one-offs. Brenda, I apologize for pausing you. Thank you for being patient.
no worries. I just wanted to say that the Portomoro has been the economic driver, but what we don't have in Boardman, and the port isn't really poised to even address for us, is a way to bring in the small town businesses that make us more of a less of a bedroom community and more of a self-contained community. So what we don't have here are ways to address services that we go to Hermiston, Pendleton, and the Tri-Cities to get. And while the port is a great economic driver, they're not really poised to do that part for us. So that's why, and one of the things about housing, and Michael, you know this probably too, is that when you try to hire someone with executive qualities, they might be willing to come, but their wife and children don't want to because they don't have the services that they need here. And even if they can afford a home or can't afford a home, they don't want to move where they can't get a meal out or buy a pair of shoes or those kinds of things. So,
Okay.
I guess, and maybe it's not up to this committee to decide that, but it could be a part of our conversation,
Yeah.
Yeah,
how we,
I
how
don't
we
see
look
it
at
being
it.
a decision we make, but we certainly can be the drivers of what we want to see here. And I think that's going to help us in developing housing, right? So, I mean,
Um,
middle income housing is going to, and like I said, like you said, the people who employ, who are the employers know their people and know so Michael should know what the people are coming for, what they're asking for. If he's going to
right.
hire somebody and they say, well, we would move to Boardman, but we aren't going to because of this. So Michael's a perfect example of somebody who would know, because of that process, what would be the best things to build for businesses or within a community that you're trying to get housing for.
And remember, this plan is supposed to address just that, right? It's supposed to give you the data and the rationale for why you would try to attract XYZ business or ABC type of housing to this assemblage of land and right? Because right now you're like,
Correct.
I want a restaurant and I think it should be here. And that's kind of all you know. You don't know anything more than that. So like, will that work? At what volume of revenue? What should the sales price of that land be? Is there a long-term land lease? Like, why would you put it there? What's the urban design for it? Like, you don't know any of that. And what I'm saying to you is you're more likely to get the types of businesses and tenants and investors you want if you can say all that, right? Like, this is what's important to us as a community. And then they know
Yeah.
how they slot in.
Yeah. So I think, if I could just, I guess, comment on a couple of things that were said that I think this really ties in, and it comes around to the power of a plan. There's two things that really I think were said, and I think this is just from my experience. I'm just going to talk for me that I've seen around Boardman is, and Richard, you make a really good point. I've been at council meetings where I think a very viable business has come in and has been shot down for one reason or another. Um, and then so there's getting the public support for what's coming in, and then also along with it, getting the businesses to come in. So I see this as a twofold problem we're trying to solve: getting the businesses that want to come here, and then having the council, and I'll just say the populace agree to have those business to be here, so it makes a smooth transition. That's the whole point of a plan, is that if you have a plan that's out there, all this work is done beforehand. And so somebody's not doing a whole bunch of, because yeah, you're not going to have developers coming in here and doing a whole bunch of work and then having it shot down at last minute because it wasn't part of this comprehensive plan that nobody knew about. And second of all, you're not going to get buy-in from any council or anybody if, because there's a lot of unknowns when bringing something in if you don't have that plan. And so I absolutely agree, and I think this group could take on if if what we're doing is helping and solidifying just a very good, comprehensive, and well-published plan about how this is going to look that gets out there. I'm all for that.
Thanks, Michael. Brandon, you had wanted to say something earlier.
No, nope, that's perfect. Yep. That is the whole point, is to have a plan that we can then go present to the council. So here is the thought out idea. Again, it is moving the needle where Boardman is getting out of just being this little town, which is a beautiful little town. The growth is coming. We just want to be able to really manage that growth and not have it be this hodgepodge. And I'll bring up an example. So we just got back from Rexburg, Idaho, which is a very, very college town. And it has been allowed to just be, there's so much housing that needs. And so people just kind of threw it out there. Hey, we're going to build here, here, and here. And there was never really a plan of how they did it. Growing up in northern Utah and Logan, same thing. The town just blew up. It grew, and there was no, like, the streets are horrible. one ways and this ways and not a way, and they're closing off this because it just was never thought out. And I'm just wanting to get ahead of that. That's all. And I really do trust this group. I think it is a very thoughtful group that will have some good ideas and to be able to then present it to the board. The council.
Nate, this is Gary. Can I slip in and offer an observation real quick?
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm really, really encouraged by this conversation. As Nate knows, I have been beating the drum in all of our discussions about Boardman and the great need for housing, and that in my mind, it's essential to bring along a minimal amount, and we can just determine what minimum is of retail and commercial. I've got 40 years of my career focusing on designing residential and retail, mostly working together all over the world. And so I say this with some amount of credibility that there is a straight line linkage between the success of getting housing built in Boardman and the quantity of shopping and commercial and retail that comes along somewhat in the same time frame.
Thanks, Gary. Karen, anything on your mind? Maybe not. You are muted. Okay. Other thoughts, concerns? Because it would be nice if I get a thumbs up from everybody. I'm gonna clean up this scope of work for me and Gary, and we're gonna start. Well, I got to make Brandon sign it first, but then we're gonna start.
I will. I'm ready to sign.
Okay. I'm seeing thumbs. Richard.
My thumbs up. I don't know how to do thumbs.
Yeah, I was driving, so yeah.
All right. Okay, then I think we can move to the rest of the agenda. We are going to finalize this. We are, just to be very explicit, we are going to come to this committee when we are including in this master planning process commercial and housing, complementary retail and commercial uses, right? And then I might change this to recommendations for how to encourage housing and commercial. Why not? Innovation, specifically in this development roadmap. Okay. Brandon, are you satisfied? Are you feeling good that your question and proposal to this group has been answered?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let me know when you're ready, when you have that filled out, and we'll sign it, and that master plan can start, which the council has already approved, the master plan.
Right. They have already approved. So we don't actually need to have other approvals other than does this committee feeling good about it?
Yep.
Okay, Brandon, you are welcome to stick around, but you can also go if you want. All right. Okay. Next thing's next. Thanks, everybody. That was great. Okay, I wanted to just give a couple quick project updates. At our last meeting, this group recommended that, well, let's say it differently. This group was very supportive of Annam Housing's proposal and was even supportive to the fact that you said you would like to pay for at least some of it, but that the city is not the right project partner for this work or this contract. As a reminder, Annam Housing is connecting employers and their potential and prospective employees and existing employees to essentially different housing resources, whether it's how to buy a house, how to find a place to live, how to get work done on your house, how to find housing assistance if you're of certain incomes. We liked it. as a reminder, but we didn't think we were the right fit. So you challenged me to reach out to Tori and BCDA and the chamber, and we connected actually only this past weekend. I think Tori's a little busy because she's running for office. But we did connect. And so I have been sending her different material and am about to send her more today. And she and I are connecting, I think, early next week about what it would look like for them to lead that project. They have to decide they want to. They're not there yet, but they have a lot to learn, in fact. And they're going to have to do some of their own due diligence. We give them a head start with ours. Good job, committee. So I just wanted to give you that update. Any questions or other thoughts on that since we last met?
What is the purpose of BCDA and the chamber being involved in this organization?
Not in this housing committee. So this housing committee for the last, I believe, 2 months has reviewed proposals from Annam Housing. That's that startup that's based out of Medford that creates an online platform that, in essence, tracks all of the housing opportunities in your community, connects in a very real way the employers and their employees to the different housing opportunities and resources in Boardman, and manages that. So, like, your city doesn't have to. And then you would have a report every quarter on what are people actually looking for in terms of housing. They would manage surveying all of your employers, all of the employees. This is what they do. And you all said, we like this idea. We like it so much, we're willing to pay for part of it. But we don't think the city should be in charge of it. This is more of a thing for a chamber of commerce because that's who represents our employers. That's what you told me at the last
Yep.
meeting.
Nope. I remember. Thank you for the explanation. Appreciate it.
So we kind of look at this like an MLS, I assume, right? It's a
Yes, but way
multi-listing.
bigger.
It's
Way
a
bigger.
multiple listing system but the city shouldn't be doing that, right? It should be banks, chambers, BCDA, those type of people. So I think that's where it makes its most sense.
Yeah, I think it might have even been, well, a bunch of you said it independently, but I think it was your idea, Junior. Bobby.
Do they do any type of data on retail requests or industrial or
That's a good
since we're
question.
there?
I don't know is the real answer. I'm gonna guess that they might not have done that yet. I mean, their name is Annam Housing. So I can ask. Yeah.
Might as well. I mean, if
Yeah,
we're there.
right. Uh, okay. Any other questions or comments on that? Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, we actually only have like one other thing. Well, two other things. So on the Merle, I know that your council just met all about the Merle, Moderate Income Revolving Loan Fund. And as a reminder, this committee allocated dollars to pay Stephen Brooks from Community Innovation Partners to lead your city staff. And how would you set up Boardman as a pilot for the Moderate Income Revolving Loan Fund? That's the thing that the state is setting up. We just wrote a whole big blog post about it and you. So I will forward that to the committee. I'm sorry I didn't do that yet. But we interview Stephen and basically give a big update on how it's going. Spoiler alert, it's moving through your council process. At the exact same time, the state legislature is revising the entire program because it turned out, thanks in part to Stephen, there's a lot of parts of the program that don't make sense and that are a little broken up. So because you are a pilot, one of two in the state, you and Coos Bay, you might not know it, but you're actually leading how the program gets fixed for the whole state. So that's what's going on. I will forward you the Merle blog post that we wrote. Okay, this is actually, we're flying here. We're going to be done real early. Uh, okay. The next and last thing is this committee wanted to work on scheduling your Developer 101 roundtable. Okay, so as a reminder, this is a special session, and it would be education for this committee, along with city staff, about why developers do what they do, why they take risk where they take risk. It's meant to provide you with the training and knowledge to be good representatives of your city when asked to weigh in on development proposals. Everybody with me so far? Yeah, thanks, Bobby. You're representative of the group right now. All right. So we did a doodle poll, and it turned out that basically at no point could more than 3 or 4 of you join any of the proposed dates. So what I'm curious about is whether we want to look at May and simply schedule this at your usual scheduled housing committee. That way, nobody has to look at their calendar. It's just already on the books, and we would add another hour onto it.
Do we, like in regards of getting dirt moved, do we want to fast track some of these meetings at all? I know
Um,
that one's a tough one because we need to put out word and get an audience, but
right. It's a good question, Bobby. I don't think that the planning process as currently structured is gonna um, like there's no amount of extra meetings I think you can have between now and May that would get you closer to dirt moving. I think a lot of that's going to be outside of
true.
meetings, quite frankly. And then what's important is that we use the times that we have the meeting to be very directive about,
Gotcha.
responding to the
Sure.
plans.
And just to put something forth on that, this particular project, the Columbia View development, will actually be starting moving dirt on that for the infrastructure of roadways, city streets, and all that will be starting next month.
Ah,
So there will be dirt moved for this
so
project next month.
so in April,
Yep.
and that's just infrastructure, right?
Just infrastructure, but we'll be seeing activity for sure there, and that'll start piquing interest of people, and they'll be asking questions. Which is the perfect time to get into, well, what kind of housing would you like to see? What kind of businesses would you like to see? So we
Yeah.
can kind of probe the public when they probe us
Yep.
to find out what their vision is as well. Because I mean, we're decision makers, but we're here for the people of Boardman, right? We're not here for ourselves. We're here for everybody in Boardman. We want to
Right.
make it work for everybody.
So my proposal is instead of trying to do another poll or have you all look at your calendars, can we just schedule our Developer 101 meeting when you are already scheduled to meet in May, and we would just add an hour on to it? That date, just to remind you, is May 19th. And this is your basically your training on how to talk to and negotiate with and understand developers. It would be 2 months from today, more or less.
Works for me. We'll see how many of the developer side we can get to show up, but yeah, and
Sorry, Junior, I want to be clear. The first one, we bring trainers who are developers.
yeah,
The next meeting is when we bring all the developers to more or less complain about your city
okay,
and tell you what you should change.
right.
We do both right in a row. Okay, so far, I think we've got someone, I think Junior said works for me. I'm gonna do a poll. Bobby?
Yeah, if that time frame seems right to you, I'm good with it.
I mean, I would like to do it sooner, but I can't get more than 3 of you in the room at the same time. We tried that. So, uh,
You mean in person?
right. It would be in person.
Oh, you're talking about the poll that went out.
Right.
Um, I mean, was there one that was more popular than?
I think
Any
our
of the
best one
others?
had 4 of you. So I would rather have the full committee, and I think that one was missing Carla. So you need Carla, you need Brandon, you need the whole gang.
So,
Right.
so I'm going
Agreed.
to jump ahead and just say, you're looking forward the 19th. I have a commitment in Portland, so I'll be in Portland for that day.
All right, you're out. Okay, thank you. Brenda? We'll get you there eventually. You could do thumbs up or down and we can come back. Okay, thumbs up. There we go. Richard? Karen?
So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was trying to get my thing. So we're talking May in person.
May 19.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay. Karen?
Yes,
Okay,
but I have other things I want to say before I'm done here, before you're
go
done.
ahead.
So finish this and we'll go on.
Great. Okay. So now we're going to do the exact same thing. Rapid fire. Get ready with your microphone. If you had trouble before, do you prefer that extra hour to go before or after your normal scheduled time? We meet at 10. So do you want it to start at 9 and go to 11? Or do you want it to start at 10 and go to 12? Ready? Junior.
I'm good with either. I don't want to, I'll be here. So
Bobby. Did you say same? Okay.
Yeah, same. Sorry.
Brenda.
Same. I can do either.
Richard.
Same. Whatever works best for everybody.
Karen.
9 o'clock.
Karen chose for the group. 9 a.m. it is. Okay, Michael, we may miss you. Sorry, but we'll loop you in like another time. All right, Karen, back to you.
Well,
Okay.
Michael sent somebody the last time. Does he want to do that again?
Yeah, I have
Maybe
my
Jamie?
alternate, Jamie.
Yeah.
I can get Jamie on the calendar.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
All right, Karen, back to you.
Okay. 2 things. It'd be really nice if when people start talking, if they would introduce themselves, because I can recognize some people's voices after they talk a while, but I can't all of you. Secondly, someone made the comment, and I guess I'm going to defend BCBA a little bit about things that people don't know that we did or have done. But when we've paid for 2 studies to be done in Boardman for when you wanted to get a hotel, they need a hotel that's looking at Boardman to get financing, has to have a study done that shows there is a potential for clients here. I think probably the first one we did was probably around 2007 or 8. We did another one here just last year or the year before for the guy that's doing the sleep in. We do a lot of that kind of studies and information that I don't know, we just don't advertise it. We just if somebody we go out and look for people that want to be in business in Boardman, and we do what we think would be helpful to get them to site here. Now we have, and see, this is the age of me talking, because I've been involved in like the last 30 years where the people here on the committee have not, probably, or a lot of them have not. So I think that back to the comment about why is BCDA and the chamber being involved, I think it's a real mistake not having them involved, because they've been doing a lot of the groundwork that has, if we'd still be waiting for sleep in if it was for the city of Boardman. So I just am encouraging you not to push BCDA and the chamber aside in the information that they can pull because we have a lot of information.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, unless I'm missing something, I think we would absolutely welcome their participation in any master planning work this committee would be doing. Like in the scope of work, it even says we need to reach out to all stakeholders in the city of Boardman for the work. So I think in answer to the concern you're bringing up, like, yes, we absolutely would need them to participate in the planning and contributing what they've already done.
Well, and I just think that people don't realize how much work has been done behind the scenes, which is kind of like what this will be. A lot of this work we're going to do is going to be behind the scenes. We're going to talk to developers and we're going to talk to bankers. So that's the goal of this organization that we're part of right now, is doing all this homework for the city of Boardman so they know how to continue to develop. And like Brandon said earlier, I don't think any of us would want to have. I think we have the opportunity to design the town we want, not just do a bunch of hodgepodge stuff. And so why wouldn't we take advantage of it? I seen a thing on the computer, and it was about this woman. It said that she invented this little subdivision or something. Well, what you found with like $1,500 or whatever. So what you found out was she went and bought a piece of property, and it was like a trailer court. But here, she did the circle design, but you could have people come and put in their own tiny homes, and we furnish the property. And it would be similar to a trailer court. I understand that. But you'd have to have your HMOs or whatever those are called. So there's lots of things that we can get onto here in this work. That's my, after I once got the mic figured out, that's my story.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Karen. I think you're spot on.
Well, and it might be my fault, Nathan, because I said that we didn't really have an economic driver or a group that was really working on our um, retail and commercial for Boardman. And we do, but maybe there's a disconnect in the communication between the two groups. And so Karen brings up an excellent point about being able to bring the two groups to the table together and glean from one another the information that we have and see if we can use older information or historical data to help drive how we proceed.
I 100% agree. I think that's pretty smart. And since a lot of it, honestly, is Tori and her folks, I think you guys were smart to have us reach out to her on the Annam housing bit. So any way you can build relationship, I think when we're doing this type of mega planning and economic analysis, all the better, all the better. So we're done with our agenda. We did it. We made it. Are there other things folks want to bring up or talk about? Okay. Well, in that case, you're going to get a bunch of your day back. I greatly appreciate your thoughtfulness and your time today, Bobby.
Just getting ready to say bye.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much. And what we'll do is we'll get this scope of work kicked off right away for the master planning. Gary, you're on this call. You heard them say it. Here we go. Giddy up. So you and me got a little work to do.
I'm really excited. Hey,
And we'll get started. So expect to hear from us at least the beginnings of something next week. Okay. All right.
So I have not received that. Did you say you were going to shoot us an email with some stuff on it, information? Did you already do that?
With the last scope of work?
Yeah.
I think I sent it to you already. Let me look. Well, this happened before where I messed up your email address.
Maybe. I just letting you know I have not received it yet.
Hold on. Please hold. Okay. So, on 1 week ago, on March 10th,
Oh, I got that. I got that one. You were going to send something out today. You said that you hadn't passed on to us yet.
no, I was going to send more stuff to Tori.
Okay. I
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Yeah, no, for the scope of work, you already have it. We're going to finalize it and sign the contract with Brandon. I will send you a copy so you see everything. But that's for him to do. But the thing the stuff that I had to send somebody is I need to send more stuff about Annam Housing to Tori today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Nate, I have one question. So our Developer 101 class is going to be that May date, May 19th or something, the third Tuesday in May from 9 to 11.
Correct.
And the roundtable will then follow that in June or later in May.
Well, um, we would have to schedule that as well, and we would want it to be as soon as possible. So, would you guys
Do
want
you
to?
want to try to tackle that today or?
You could try. Yeah. Brenda, I like when people are as excited about calendars as I am.
Well, some people have their calendar agendas made out for the whole of the year and they have non-negotiable days. So
Right.
we could maybe get worked around some of those if we
That's
are
true.
proactive.
Well, so this one, we're going to need us, but we also are going to need to schedule a whole bunch of developers. So maybe what we do is we start with an option. Maybe we have to start with two options so that we can sort of give the universe of people we need to show up options and then choose whichever one we can get more.
Okay.
Um, my preference would be to do that swiftly after May 19th. I don't want it to linger. So I would look to like the beginning of June. Your next official meeting would be June 16th. It might be of value to have it even before that.
So you're thinking like June 2nd or June 9th? Or are you willing to deviate from a Tuesday?
No, yeah, we can deviate from a Tuesday. The other way you could do it, if you really want to get funky, is you could do like back-to-back days, or you could try to have both on the same day. You could do not on May 19th, sorry. To be clear, you could have like your regular meeting on June 16th and have sort of your developer roundtable right after it. So I think that's going to take an hour plus.
So the only problem with that is, I would say for me is again, I got something else I'm doing, and that's trying to run Tillamook.
Yeah.
Uh, so when we take big chunks of time, is it harder? So, but I will say the first week of June for me is really open right now.
Okay.
So,
Brenda, how about you? First week of
Um,
June.
the if I can get through the first, I'm good. So the second would work, the third would work.
Okay.
Um,
Um, I'm just writing these down. How about you, Junior?
My only concern is that Tuesday's council meeting and Wednesday we do department head development and a bunch of stuff on that Wednesday. And then Thursdays are never good for me because that's when I have my engineer on hand and we work feverishly to fix all the things we have to fix. So first week of June for me is not as optimal as the second week would be, but
Is it during the day better, Junior, than after work?
well, just getting ready for city council and doing all the reports, and then the day after is all meetings about the city council. So the
I
second
see.
and third for me are pretty tough.
All right.
as city councilors.
How about Richard?
Um, I'm just not available at the end of June, and so but yeah, if it's during the first week or first couple of weeks of June or whatever, you just tell me a date and I'll make it work.
Okay, thank you. Karen?
I'm like Junior, I'm better for the second week in June.
Okay,
Second week of June works for me too.
that's Michael. Okay.
Yeah.
Michael's cool. And Karen's
Second
cool.
week works for me also, Nate.
Okay. Brenda's good on that. Bobby, near the end, I think.
Yeah, second week works fine.
Hi, Robert.
Okay, we're gonna target that one. I'll try to make it midweek if I can. So like 9, 10, or 11, somewhere in there. 9, 10, or 11. And I'll see what I can do with Brandon and Carla because they're gonna want to be there too. Okay. Okay, thank you. Brenda, good idea. All right.
Glad we got it taken care of. Have a great, productive week, everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you as
you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
long, everybody.
Good luck with the rest of your week, Nathan.
Thanks, Bobby. I need it.
You'll sure you'll do real well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.